The rivalry between Speaker of Parliament Anita Among and former Speaker Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga in the just concluded SEC elections was more than a regular political contest. During the campaigns since June, Kadaga variously targeted salvos at Among, including being underweight of US and UK sanctions over corruption and being of questionable integrity. Among, on her part, did not fire back, which her campaign team said was a strategy not to make campaigns for SEC appear personal.
I have too much respect for Right Honorable Kadaga.
But far from the truth, the spectacle carried the weight of deep-seated personal animosity, stretching beyond the confines of politics and bordering on surgical attrition. Among not only played a key role in Kadaga's ouster from the Speakership of Parliament, but was also seemingly hell-bent on edging Kadaga out of the SEC, the NRM's top policy organ, and send her into political oblivion. Yet the two were not always sworn rivals. In fact, during Kadaga's second tenure as Speaker during the 10th Parliament, and Among as the independent woman member for Bukedia district, their relationship was far warmer, almost described as a political romance. The question now lingers. How did this relationship sour into such bitter hostility? Those who closely watched Among during her days in FDC describe her as highly ambitious, a go-getter with an eye for both power and resources.
They enjoyed a cordial relationship to the effect that even during plenary, Anita would even write a note or even come and whisper to the Speaker if she wanted maybe to deliberate on floor of Parliament. But in my own view, you know, as people aspire higher into positions of leadership, the egos grow. What I know about the old tax of NRM, including Mama Kadaga, of course, they all have a sense of entitlement. This is our thing. We started it. Nobody should come in our way. And what I also know about Right Honorable Anita, my sister, she's a go-getter. The moment she wants something, nothing or no one can stand in her way.
Former leader of opposition, Wafula Gutu, recalls her as someone who pursued friendships with foresight, often guided by the gains they would bring.
Among is an ambitious person who wants, I think she wants raw power and money. And I think she makes friendship based on that. Sort of like Museveni, really. And I think when she goes to Parliament, she goes as an independent FDC leaning. Maybe they are friends at that time. They become friends because she represents power. And Among was already a friend of Museveni. I think they teamed up. I think they were using each other expediency. But I don't think they were friends. They were colleagues in Museveni schemes of leadership.
Despite being in the opposition, she maintained direct links with President Museveni, lobbying deals and interests in Parliament, even for opposition members through Kadaga's ears while she was still an ordinary member of Parliament.
A number of people knew she was close to the president, so she was a link person. There are those members who had family issues, those who had dates, those who had medical issues. She would link them. Even Fufa, by the way, I remember one time, Uganda Cranes was stuck. They wanted a plane to fly them, I think, to Morocco for a football match. She's the one who negotiated for that. The president had to charter a plane for Fufa. But also the increment of the budget. Anita has played a very big role as a link person to agencies, individuals, even business people. Like Dot Services, it had been blacklisted. Parliament actually blacklisted it, but she negotiated, she mediated and helped Parliament, helped DOT Services to get back on the list of vendors for Ministry of Works.
Observers suggest the fallout began when Among's ambition became too visible. With the argument from critics that President Museveni's divide and rule political approach set the stage for the clash, Ogutu notes that it was inevitable once Among's rising influence began to show.
Of course, Kadaga would feel she was not ready to leave the speakership the way she left, and Among, just the other day she was FDC, and within 3 years, 2 years, she becomes a Speaker of Parliament, and she becomes number 3, effective number 2 really. Vice President in Uganda is nothing. And I think not only Kadaga, there must be a group of people within NRM who do not feel well that this woman comes and just takes what they have been waiting to get, also some of them.
All the while, there are mixed suggestions that Among is positioning herself as the new Busoga political queen, given her in-law status or key influencer figure in Busoga politics, another blow to Kadaga. How analytical is this so?
Because she's in charge of the 1 trillion money of the Parliament and the slush fund for politics from the president. I think she's very easily able to give more than Kadaga, and she has the politics of NRM has been highly commercialized, and of course it also impacts on even us, the opposition, and so now it is the highest bidder who wins. So Busoga is very impoverished.
The SEC elections marked more than Kadaga's personal loss. They represented the sweeping exit of nearly all the old guard, replaced by fresh faces. Robert Centenary and Wafula Ogutu interpret this as part of a deliberate succession and transition strategy within the ruling party. David Ijjo, NTV.